Tonight, the award of 325 billion shillings contract for the expansion and modernization of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport JKIA has once again ignited debate over government's transparency, rekindling protests that followed the handing over of the airport to Adani Group of India that forced the government to terminate the deal. Stakeholders want the government to be transparent in its procurement processes and engage Kenyans, avoiding the pitfalls that fell the deal with Adani Holdings that was set to take over and operate the airport in 2024. KTN's Daniel Kariuki has more details on the new deal that is said to cost more by 50% than the initial deal.
Following the cancellation of a deal between the government and Adani Holdings on the construction, expansion and modernization of the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Kenya has now handed the massive project to China Communications Construction Company, CCCC, the Chinese state-owned firm that is also the mother company of CRBC. The deal with the Chinese firm significantly differs from the Adani deal, which would have seen the firm take over, invest its own money in upgrading the airport, projected at 260 billion shillings, and operate the facility for 3 decades while taking a share of revenue the airport generated to recoup its investments. CCCC, the new company that will oversee the works, is expected to be paid 375 billion shillings for the expansion and modernization works and hand over the project to the government upon completion.
Airport yetu hapa ilijengwa sijui 1972. Tulijaribu kujenga ingine, wakalete kelele nini mpaka saa hizi airport yetu iko canvas kwa tarmac. Tuko na aibu nyingi, lakini nataka niwahakikishie mwezi huu wa 7 tunaanza kujenga airport mpya, na tuko na vile na pesa ya kujenga hiyo airport.
The deal has already raised eyebrows. President of the Law Society of Kenya, Charles Kanjama, has welcomed the move, saying modernizing the critical aviation hub is essential for economic growth, but added that the project is a massive undertaking that must be subjected to the highest levels of transparency. He says, and I quote, LSK calls for full public disclosure of the contract terms and procurement process to ensure absolute compliance with the Constitution and public procurement laws. He further said, we demand rigorous oversight to guarantee local content participation for Kenyan firms. Large-scale infrastructure projects must serve the public interest and uphold the public finance principles under Article 201 of the Constitution. End of quote. The expansion and modernization of the airport is expected to be funded through a mix of debt as well as money raised through the secularization of the air passenger service levy. The Adani deal to take over and operate JKIA was cancelled following public uproar, including protests over what appeared to be a deal heavily skewed in favor of the Indian firm that was also found to have an indictment in the US. The project has been handed over to China, despite local industry players having expressed interest in financing mega infrastructure projects, including the upgrade of JKIA. Daniel Kariuki, KTN.
The United Opposition Alliance has continued its campaign tour